What's up, Belize? I'm trying to find this video here to post it. Yeah, our topic for today with the Belizean demise, it's kind of crazy because I don't even know where to start sometimes. There's so much going on, and that has to do a lot with perception, right? So one of the first things we need to establish in Belize is to gather what's factual and what's fiction, what is real and what is not, you know. So one of the main things, like, I've been doing a lot of research and trying to put things back into perspective for Belize. It's a lot of work and all that, but the visions we have for Belize and moving forward is quite critical to the corporate takeover and what have you going on in Belize as we speak. You know, so one of the major things that we have to do is started to acknowledge who we are as Belizeans. You know, and one of the major things that's been a problem since the 1800s is gaining an understanding of how the structure of our continent is, you know. And once we establish that, then we could start looking at what's going on within our borders in Belize. You know, the confusion comes from a lot of what's going on and taking place with our ministers in government, and there's certain tactics that's being used on us, and we have no idea of what exactly is in play. Like, for instance, with the Israeli issue, that's a deep issue that's been taking place for a while in Belize, you know. And if we don't gain understanding, we can't protect ourselves, we can't protect our families, we can't move forward. I don't know if you guys noticed that the level of crime and violence in Belize has risen dramatically. That's directly the outcome from social engineering, right? So I was drawing a little drawing, and this came to me today, right, for us to gain perception of how the continent is, right? I don't know if you guys could see this, but basically up here, this is a layout of Americas, right? Up here you have Canada, you have North America, you have Central America, and you have South America. When you combine these three areas together, this is what makes up the United States of America, right? But over the years, what has been going on is that they took North America and started renaming and reclassify it as the United States of America. And what that does, that directly disenfranchise us from Central America and South America from being Americans, right? So if we start establishing back the truth in that, then we'll start gaining back or status as citizens and all that. You know, it's a deep process that we need to start looking into, right? Later on, we'll have more videos and more in-depth explanation of that. But once we grasp that concept and stop calling ourselves Belizeans rather than Americans, because what Belize is only a country of the Americas. You understand? So in reality, what you are in reality, in truth, are Americans, you know. And that is a disenfranchisement that's been taking place for over 100, going 200 years or somewhere thereabout, you know. But we'll go more in depth with that with the various videos, and so that we're trying to organize and put together for us guys to start establishing what the main goal is for Belize. You know, we have what the goals are already, but we're just not ready to present it to you guys as yet. You know, also to if I could go back to the issue where I was talking about the Israelis in Belize, that is a process that they play this thing they call conscious hypnosis, right? Where I don't know if you guys notice whenever Seth Harrington or Dean Barrow speak in any press conference, or they do a presentation to the Belizean public, where they talk real slow and they go like they pick on words and they go tuk 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 tuk, right? That's a tactics from that derived in Germany, from this guy Wellings, and it's a process that the Israelis have adopted over the years, right? So now you have America as well as Israel, who use these tactics to manipulate the way you exchange information, the way you put forward information to the public, so that you have them in a disoriented, discombobulated position, where they can put whatever ideas or what they want you to perceive as truth into your cortex, right? So it's basically set up where you take you have your brain, right? And you have the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain, right? And between those, where one is your conscious mind and one is your subconscious mind, right? And between those two sides of your brain, you have a bridge, which is your critical mind. You know, so what they do, they take certain instances or different programs or ideas they put out to the public, and then that distracts you. Like, for instance, we have right now, we have the SARS student issue, we have the passport issue, we have the ICJ issue. All these issues are basically tactics to distract you, and then they filter in whatever they want you to perceive as reality. You know, so what they do, they distract your conscious mind, and then they send in these subliminal messages to your conscious mind to get to your subconscious mind. You understand? It's a tactic that even this guy Milton Erickson from the United States, then you have Wolf Messing. These are names and process that you guys need to research as well too. You know, and it'll give you a clear idea of what it is I'm saying to you guys. You know, Belize has been under attack for a while. So the main point of what I'm saying to you guys is to not be distracted by all the various different things that's going on, all the different issues that's plaguing Belize right now. What you need to do is calm down, take deep breaths, and then you take each problem that they bring to you and you analyze it. You understand? Because it's only an illusion. The ICJ issue, for if I take that for instance, that's only an illusion to try to trick you in saying yes at the ICJ, where you actually bring something that is fictitious into reality. Because at present, right now, if you look at what's taking place in Belize with the ICJ issue, Guatemala does not have a actual claim on Belize. The only way that claim could come into fruition if you guys vote yes in a referendum and say yes, they do have a claim to Belize. But in reality, on paper and all the treaties and everything, a claim does not exist. And what we'll do too, we'll create an article to further explain this to you guys, so that you have a clear understanding of what's taking place. If you also look at the Guatemalan issue with them becoming Belizeans, if you really gain an understanding of landmass issues and where one is born and all that, you realize that a Guatemalan or a European or anybody that doesn't born in Belize could never be Belizeans. You understand what I'm saying? So what it is, it's all fictitious ideas, all illusions. They bring and they have you make it manifest and bring it into reality by entertaining the nonsense. You understand? So it's kind of it's a kind of complicated thing to break down, like speaking to you like this. But what we'll do, we'll try to break it down, and we'll show you using laws, protocols, penal codes, and different things like that to further explain it to you as to what is in occurrence. But the main idea of why I presented this this part here is to start establishing what our consciousness is. And that has a great deal to do with the map I was showing you earlier, right? Where we start establishing and start realizing that rather than classifying yourself as Belizeans, you classify yourself as Americans who are part of Belize. You understand? And later on, I'll explain to you guys the reasons as to why and why we shouldn't be Belizeans and all that rather than Americans, apart from disenfranchising ourselves. So we'll break it down to you and explain in detail how you went around disenfranchising yourselves and stuff like that. That's why we find that all these things are in occurrence with us, and we find that we have leaders illegally giving away our land. We have where our people within the period of 37 years have not seen no development, while we have one of the richest nations in the region. You understand? So it's a real complex thing to break down, because you have so many different factors that are in play that you have to break down to start explaining all the various issues that's taking place and in occurrence with us. You know, so I want you guys to start thinking about that and use that process. I won't take too long in this video here. But another thing to go on another tangent, to reach out to you guys, we have various different organizations in Belize who are like minor little organizations who try to help the single moms and the families that can't afford to have their kids go back to school or don't have the resources and all that to get back to school. So this is a call out to, if you guys, anyone out here in America or anywhere in the world, could reach out to us to gain help aid us to get school bags and books and different things to try to help these kids to get ready for September, the new coming school year, or end of August for various different institutions who go back to school in August, around August. You know, so if you guys have any thing that you want to donate or anything, just reach out to us. We have 3 different organizations that we're dealing with right now that they need the help, and once we establish that, then we could share the help we get on our part or on our end over here and distribute it within the 3 various organizations in Belize. We'll try to make a flyer and put it up so that you guys could take a look at it and make that decision whether or not you feel it's something sound enough that you want to partake in and help out in Belize. All right. With that said, folks, I'll leave you guys for now. Just stay tuned, because we'll try to make this be something more frequent, where we come out and we discuss certain issues that's going on and all that in Belize. But one of the major things I want you guys to understand is not to spread hate or get angry with Guatemalans or so, because we're digging up a lot of history, and we're coming to find out that majority of the indigenous people from Guatemala are relatives. You know, where family is just that the governmental body and or governmental body, along with Israel, Canada, USA, and all them, they have this big in cahoots to try to trick us into gaining our property, because it's so rich in resources and wealth and all that. You know, so we can't really play into that hate game. You know, what we need to do is come together as a people and start addressing these issues, where we look at our problems and we start solving them in the right manner, rather than being agitated. We do it with cool heads and using our intellect, because we are some of the most brilliant people in the world, man. Anytime our children go to any other institution anywhere in the world, we outshine everyone. And there's certain reasons for that, that they have certain tactics that they're encroaching on us with to try to relieve that. One of them right now is what recently happened over the graduation period in at the end of June, where they're trying to lower the graduation requirements for or students to be eligible to graduate from school. The minute you start reducing your standards, what that makes you become a little more inferior to others. You understand? So we don't want to go there, because that is going on all over the world. In certain parts of the world, that we have people who are copper tone as us. You understand? So that is one of the issues. Another one of the issues they came with the other day is where the IMF or the ODB, I don't remember which one of the banking institutions, were making a suggestion to Belize to have them raise the retirement age for or elders who have done their public service, their public servants and all that, you know. And that's something that we don't want to engage in either. That's not healthy for our elders and all that. You understand me? So all these things are things that are happening to us right now, and it's based on us grasping and grabbing on all these international loans that they're pumping into your system, you know. And we here at Belize United Front is making a call out, right? We're making a request that the government of Belize stop with the borrowing. The borrowing is disenfranchising our children and us. You understand? And all it is, it's paper money. It has no value. It's fiat. You shouldn't even refer to it as money, because it's not. Anything that you call money should be backed by gold. And that's what the currency is. That's the world standard. Gold back your paper fiat money. Right? So if the government, like for instance, Dean Barrow printed some money when we owed some money to Ashcroft the other day. He went and he printed currency fiat money at central bank to compensate Ashcroft with that. What should be done in reality, if Ashcroft grabbed that certificate that they gave them to receive those funds and they try to turn it in, what we should have to back that, like if he don't want to use the paper money no more, what we should give to him is gold. We're supposed to be able to present gold to them to say, okay, this is our trade, because that was the understanding that the world established as a means of trade, is to have gold back our standards. So now that is a major part of our problem that we have in Belize as well, you know. So Belize have, I don't know if you're paying notice that the Guatemalans, they come in a chickabul and they panning gold and all that. Well, Belize is rich. When I tell you rich in gold, uranium, all different sort of minerals we have. And if you look at it and pay notice, we have approximately 380,000 people living in Belize. A lot of that there are residents and what have you. You understand me? So if you look at it and you break it down even less, you only have like 320,000 people living in Belize who are indigenous Belizeans, indigenous Americans to our territory there. You understand? So if we look at it at that, there's no way in hell that any Belizean should be in poverty in Belize. If you look at the land mass ratio to how much people lives per square mile, I think it's about 16 people per square mile living in Belize or some craziness like that, you know, if not a little bit more. But if you look at that and you look at the resources that derives from having land, and the potential of developing land, and the minerals or ocean, the sea, with fishes and marine services, education that can be traded, you know, there's no way in hell that any Belizean should be living over no London bridges, you know, living over swamps, going hungry, can't afford to take their afford for their children to go to school and have an education and all these things. You know, so if we start acknowledging all these things and be more involved to have a clear understanding that what we see with these political parties is not beneficial for the Belizean people, and that they do not have no power to actually implement these things for us, because we're under a monarchy which have been relieved already, you know, and being overrun by different entities that we will explain to you later on, to make you have a clear understanding of these things. Then we'll understand that we should step away. We should, you hearing me, people? We should step away from these political parties, because it's not beneficial for us. And we have ways that we are setting up, strategic ways that we are setting up for us to move forward as Belizeans, to make us have the benefits of our country. So don't play into the hands, I'm begging you guys, please don't play into the hands of these have fear that Guatemala can invade Belize. Guatemala cannot invade Belize. Under international laws, they cannot invade Belize. And all this we're going to explain to you guys. There's no way in hell they can invade Belize unless you give them that right. And one of those ways you're going to give them that right, if you go to the referendum, which is an illegal referendum at that, and vote yes in that referendum. Now that gives them leverage over Belize. Right? It's a simple process, man. So all we have to do is calm down, place everything on the table, and then we could look at it as intellectuals, man, where we discuss these things. I'm begging for the longest. I'm begging all these organizations to come together, and I like the fact that some of them have come together. Nobody has reached out to me to let me be a part of whatever they're in play. But the thing is, I've been begging for a long time for the organizations to come together so that we set up think tanks where we start paving the way forward for Belizeans. You understand me? Because the present conditions that we are living in is not something that any humane person should be involved in. And it breaks my heart every day. I see my people dying in the streets of Belize, and I see all these different encroachments happening to Belizeans, and I know how to solve majority of the stuff. You understand me? I'm not saying I know everything, but I read a lot, and I have a great understanding of the political process. I have an understanding of world affairs and what have you. And history. One of the main reasons why I have this clear understanding of what is taking place is because I do have an understanding, a great understanding of history. And we're still over here trying to do some more research to find our blood lineage and all these things to try to clear up some of this mess that we are in. You understand? So with that said, man, I won't keep you guys time any longer, but just stay tuned and look out for us. And if you have any donations, man, we'll try to set up something where you guys just reach out to us, and then we'll figure something out. I'll try to contact Una in New York and have her set up something for us so that you guys can make donations, so that we could try to help the kids in Belize with the getting prepared for school. And also, if you have any donations, to try to help us with our organization, because all this is a lot of money, and I'm at my last right now funding all these things that we're dealing with. You understand? So if you guys could just do that for us, it'll be real nice. And then we'll start presenting more of the things. We're trying to do productions where we have videos to explain these things, so that you could actually go back on them and rewind it, and if you don't understanding. And one of the things too, when dealing with this issue, you'll have to get a dictionary, because when we start explaining some of the things and break it down to you, you have to have a clear understanding of the linguistics that's being used to deceive us and all these things. You know, this thing goes real deep, people. You know, and our governments, both political parties, UDP, UPUP, and all of them, are all involved in it. You know, and we have to step away from it and get a hold of our nation, so as to move forward, and so that all of us could become the kings and queens that we initially are. All right? So with that said, man, I love you guys. You don't know how much I love you guys. I've sacrificed my life for all this. You know, where I gave up my company and all kind of craziness. My family looking at me like I'm crazy right now to be doing all this. But this shit is so deep and so in need for us to move forward as a nation, people. I really and truly love you guys. With that said, man, enough peace, love, and guidance, man. I love you. All right? Bye.